Well, the first thing I did when I woke up was watch the Bad Bunny halftime performance, and I was, it was so good. Hi, hello, and welcome. My name is Shelly Fernandez, and this is my YouTube channel where I sew things. Today, we are sewing a Valentine's Day dress. Do I have a date for Valentine's Day? No. Do I have any plans for Valentine's Day? No. But we're here, and we're gonna make this dress. Is this gonna come out on Valentine's Day? No. I don't know why I'm asking myself rhetorical questions. Let's get into the details of it all. For the main body, of course, corset. We love a good corset in this household. I want it to be a very high neckline, like a swoop, as you can see in the photo, and a swoop at the bottom, and then have it cinched at the waist. Yeah, and then the skirt, I want it to be very tight, and then I want it to be like that mermaid look where it flares out very dramatically at the bottom. And then for the top, I also want to see if I can find red gems that I can like drape just to add a little bit more dramatics to the dress. And of course the sleeves on the sides that really droop down. And this is when we get into the fabric. So for the sleeves, I want to use this meshy fabric to add that dramaticness of the swoop and have that elegantness. And then for the top and then for the skirt, I have this red fabric. You might be thinking, oh, Miss Girl, these are two different reds. You would be very much right. And we're just gonna make it work, because when I first got this at the thrift store, these are curtains and those are curtains. They did not look like two different reds, and I brought them home and I was like, why did they just change colors? Like, what happened? We're gonna go with it and pray that it still looks really good. My plan to maybe add a bit of this at the bottom of the skirt. That's the details for this dress that we're making today. So now we can actually get started making this dress, and we're gonna start off with the construction of the corset. And then for the lining of the corset, of course, we still have a bunch of this white bedsheet fabric from my last project that I want to use, so we're gonna use her again. Okay, so I have the lining all done and cut out, and then I have the interfacing all done and cut out, and then I have to take this extra fabric and iron on the interfacing onto it to then cut out the pattern pieces again. Yay! Let's start doing that. So now that we have all the pattern pieces done and cut out, we're going to go ahead and pin everything and then sew everything up together. So we have two of the same bodices. Let's get started. So I have the two separate pattern pieces. I'm gonna have to sew on each side on each seam and 1/2 inch apart to make the boning channels, and then we can go start on actually cutting out the red fabric. We have the base all done and ready. We have the boning channels all sewn in. So now we have that boning. I think I already said this. I need to add boning to all the channels, and then I need to add another boning across the bust. I just want more structure there. Okay, so let's still do that. I did my big one. This corset looks literally so good, and the structure of it. Okay, I had to put her on the corset because I couldn't hold it and use the mic. It's really nice. I really like it. And then I had to add an extra bonding channels to go across so it wouldn't like cave in it on itself. So we have the construction slash lining done and ready to go, but we can actually start cutting into our fabric and getting this all finally put together. This is actually going pretty fast. Like, I thought this was gonna take forever. I feel like this is a very kind of basic design. I'm just adding a bit more. I think the detailing is where it's gonna take me forever because it's probably gonna be a lot of hand sewing. We love that. Actually start getting this ready and done. I'm gonna get off the screen. Yeah. Oh, what happened? Oh. Okay, y'all, we have her done. She looks so smooth and so nice. It looks so good. Anyways, we're gonna keep going. Before we go off and close everything up, we need to add the off-the-shoulderness with this mesh fabric that I have. I think I need to drape it onto the corset and then hand stitch it and then sew it on together. And then we can go ahead and close everything off. And then I need to figure out the back if I want to do the grommets, or if I want to do the lace ups. I think I want to do the grommets. I should invest in like a nice grommet maker because the one I have is so janky. I have to like really hammer it down. Ugh, it's a whole thing. This didn't take me that long to make actually. Looks like I'm getting faster. Hey! Okay, let's go start. I literally cannot figure out this sleeve and I don't know what to do. So I think I'm gonna work on it off camera and just like figure this out. Like I was getting there and I was like, wait, I don't know how I would like get this off the mannequin and make it look neat. I'm gonna work on this off camera and then I'll come back if I have something figured out. JK, I figured it out. It took me 2 seconds of thinking to me realizing that there's such an easier way to do this than trying to hand drape it. So my dilemma with the arm draping was that there's different levels of draping on the design and I didn't want it to be all one level, but I stood here for like a second. I was like, wait, there's levels to this, you know, there's such an obvious solution to this, and I drew it up. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna measure how steep I want the first swoop to be and have that my top length. I kind of need to calculate how long I want the fabric to be, so I feel like I'll probably like double the length of this, or triple. No, I feel like double would do. The width at the bottom has to be longer than the width at the top, so it kind of comes up to a triangle without like a point. That's not a triangle. What is that actual shape? Like that's an actual shape. Me calling it a pointless triangle. Ooh, girl, get back to the books. Like I looked it up. We're basically making an isosceles trapezoid. I would go gather up the sides. It would allow me to have that different layered gathering that I want. Now that I figured that out, I need to like actually do the math and then map it out onto the fabric and then cut out that fabric and put it on here. Okay, this is what we have. She's looking spectacular. I know I'm about to love this dress. We just added the 2 drapes on the sides. Now we're gonna go ahead and attach the 2 corsets together. Let's go do that. Oh my gosh, this is so nice. I ironed her out. I do think one side is long, like one side of the sleeve is longer than the other. What do we have to do next? I have a couple choices. I can either go ahead and start working on the skirt, or I can add the grommets to the back of this. Which one do I want to do? I kind of want to go ahead and start working on the skirt. The skirt, it shouldn't take too long. I know I have a pattern that I've used before that I want to reuse to get the look that I want. I might change the pattern a little bit to be more dramatic at the bottom of the skirt. Like I usually say, let's get started. I feel like I need to find something else to say. I feel like every clip where I'm talking at the end of it, I go, let's get started. Let's get started. Let's get started. I realized I was kind of in the zone. I have not been talking. I've just been sewing and filming. So let me explain what I've basically done to the skirt. So first thing I did with the mesh triangles, I forget what the style is called. Style of the skirt is like a mermaid style, but then I forget what the technique is called when you add triangles into the skirt. I did that, but I did that with the mesh fabric that I had that I also used for the sleeves on the corset. I did that to really match the corset because the 2 fabrics are different colors, so I still want it to kind of be cohesive. I also added in a zipper. I think I did it wrong, but I'm not gonna change it. I just put the zipper up too high. I forgot to leave that 1/2 inch for the stopper, but it's fine. We're gonna keep it rolling. It's not gonna affect the skirt that bad. But for now, I do need to finish the top of the skirt so the edges aren't fraying and it's clean. So I want to use this as hem facing. I think there's stuff in the skirt that I have to adjust. I want it to like cinch in more at the knees, and it's not giving that dramatic look that I want, so we're gonna have to deal with that. But let's add the hem facing to the skirt first. Scratch that. This is me like 2 minutes later. We're actually not going to put the hem facing on the waist of the skirt. We're going to first fix the skirt to how I want it to look and then serge all the seams, and then last add the hem facing, because that means the skirt is done, finito. We can move on to the next thing after. Oh, so I just got it backwards. Let's go do that. Okay, so I finished the skirt. We're not gonna show her yet. We're gonna wait for the final reveal for that. I have like 2 more things to do. The next thing I want to do is add the grommets to the back, because I still haven't added any structure or lace up to the back. Like there's nothing gonna hold this together. So I need to add that. With that, I need my grommets and a hammer. And it's gonna get loud. I already made the attachment piece, so all I have to do is hammer out the grommets on them and then attach it to the dress. Let's go do that, and then we'll get to the final step when I get there. Yeah. Okay, after hours and hours of hand sewing these beads on, we're finished the dress. Hey! I added obviously the beads on the top, the beads on the bottom, and then I added it on the bottom the whole way around. And then at the bottom I just added an extra details of just separate beads, because I feel like it looked very like unfinished without me adding the separate beads. We can finally get to the final reveal of this dress. I just look too good. This dress eats waist is. I just need to surf for 1 second, guys. Just wait. My makeup looks really good. I just like this dress. Oh, I love this dress. Somebody invite me to a ball, to a very fancy wedding, and I'm popping out with this. Even like when I was putting on the beads, I was like, yes, this is about to eat so hard. Enough of me glazing this dress and serving. Let's get to the conclusion and talk about the wrongs and rights of this dress. Let's talk about the things I did wrong with this dress first. There's not that much I did wrong. Since I'm working on a budget, certain things have to be done that I wouldn't normally do if I wasn't working on a budget, you know? But actually, like, can y'all believe that this was curtains before? Like, both of these were curtains before, and now it's this? Like, hello? I should have made my own prom dress when I was in high school. I have so much energy right now. I feel like the difference between me filming and the end of this video is gonna be different. Maybe not. I'm getting so off track. Let's get into the things I did wrong I don't like with this dress. One would be the lining. The lining, I use that bed sheet because I would not have enough fabric to cut out a lining with the red fabric, because the white is peeking through a lot and I don't like that. Like, it's very noticeable because the whole thing is red and then there's like white peeking through, especially, oh yeah, you can literally see it right there, and you can probably see in the back. Yeah. The other thing is, I don't know if I already said this, but the top, I should have had 16 panels instead of 8 panels. Since I'm adding beads, there's so much weight to the dress. Like, you can see that it's kind of folding forward up here. If I had another like just boning panel right here, then that would really help with that buckling down. So for next time, if I make this dress again, keep that in mind. I don't really like the color of the zipper and then the course up lace ups, but that's just, I couldn't find any deeper red color at Walmart or Hobby Lobby, so I had to do with what I had, and it doesn't look terrible because at least the two of them matched together in the back. Let's get into what I love about this dress, which is gonna be like a whole list. First, I love the corsets. The back, like where I added the grommets, it looks so professional, but it literally looks so good. I love the off the shoulderness, and I love how I used the mesh fabric with the off the shoulder, and then I also put it into the skirt, which just elevated it a lot more and made it more cohesive. The gems, I love the gems. I think there's 4 different size gems, and I made a pattern and I did it to all of them to just make sure they were all cohesive, and the different sizes just add a bit of more depth to the gems instead of just being all one. I love it! I love it! I'm glad I switched it up to like a mermaid style look, because a lot of my projects I do, it's just like gathered fabric and it just like drapes down, but I like how I did a bit tighter and then it flares out at the bottom. I think that's everything for this video. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna be posting a bunch of videos on YouTube here, on shorts, and then also on my TikTok. I literally took, I feel like 100 photos of this dress. I'm posting them on my design account, and that should all be in the description on my channel. And then I also post behind the scenes on my personal Instagram account. You guys go check that out, and also go check out all my other dresses I made. Let me know what you guys think about this dress, because I really like it. I like all the details. Design wise, I'm getting there. I'm slowly getting to where I want to be. Yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.